Shall I start?
No, I'll start.
Okay, go on then.
You talking about the booking, yeah? Well, first and foremost, I'm not blaming Erik Ten Hag, not one bit, because he's the manager. Casemiro is an experienced player who's played in some of the biggest games there is. He plays for the Brazil national team. He's played for Real Madrid, where he's won 5 Champions Leagues. He knows that role better than most, and it was a moment of madness by Casemiro. Erik Ten Hag has put him in there because he doesn't want to take anything for granted. Crystal Palace is a tough place to go, so he's put him in there to obviously get the result. I'm sure he would have hoped they would have been winning comfortably by that point so he could take him off. He didn't do that. It was a moment of madness by Casemiro. In that regard, I blame Casemiro, not Ten Hag.
Right. I hear exactly what you're saying, right? Here's my question. Sometimes players pick up a yellow card for a challenge where we all look back and go, that's not a yellow card, that's nothing. It's just touching nothing, right? So, although last night's challenge was reckless and ridiculous, right?
Ridiculous,
and deserved a yellow card, he could have been involved in an incident where he got a yellow card where he shouldn't have, right? Why put him in that position? I look at Man United's 11. I look at their subs bench, right? Bearing in mind we have McTominay and Fred on the bench. If United can't field a 1 to 11 without Casemiro and think they have a side strong enough to beat them, we have got major problems.
No, but
major problem. I know how great Casemiro is, right? Let's say he's a 10 out of 10. I'd like to think Scott and or McTominay are a worst way 6. I want to say 7. If that's not a good enough replacement for away at Palace, when you realise that a win at Palace and a win at Arsenal gets you 3 points behind the leaders with half the season to go, I just don't understand it. I can't really have a pop too much at Erik Ten Hag, right? Because everything he's done since he's been in has been unbelievable. But I go back to when, and you and I had this discussion, when Man City were playing the Champions League. It was their last group game. They were playing RB Leipzig. And Kyle Walker did something reckless. I think he kicked out against Andre Silva. It was a meaningless game. And I said beforehand, what's the point of Kyle Walker playing? Exactly the same scenario. Don't put him in that.
No, but you can't. No, but you can't. Again, you can't.
But hold on, Benny. You're saying it. But in both scenarios, I've been proved 100% right.
But neither scenario are the manager's fault. If the player can't control,
why are you picking?
Because
why is Casemiro playing?
Because the manager believes that he's got a better chance of winning that game with Casemiro, and it's not about.
Have we got a better chance of winning it on Sunday?
No, but it's not about Sunday. The manager can't look to Sunday because you might have lost last night's game, but the manager thought, you know what, I'm not going to take anything for granted. Crystal Palace are on their knees, by the way, losing 4 out of the last 5 games. He's thinking, right, I want to go full strength, put the game to bed, and I'm sure if they were winning 2-3-0.
No, you're wrong. We were 1-0 up with 80 minutes on the clock.
Yeah, but it was still tight, so you can't take him off.
If we can't hold on for 10 minutes...
listen, I, for 100%, do not agree with that.
You don't think he should have been subbed off on 80 minutes?
No, I do not, because you
don't think United can hold on?
No, I do not. I think Casemiro is a big player for Manchester United. He's arguably been, with Rashford, their 2 best players. Erik Ten Hag's thinking, I need to win the game. I'm not focusing on Arsenal yet because that's in the future. I need to worry about now, which is getting a result against Palace, and that is all on Casemiro. That's not the manager's fault.
Let me ask you this: if you could get in a DeLorean and go back in time, and on 79 minutes, I'd say to you, do you want to take him off or not? What would you say?
Well, that's ridiculous because obviously then he doesn't get booked. But Casemiro, that's Casemiro's fault. The challenge is...
No, it's not his fault. It's not his fault.
It's not. He made the challenge.
Yeah, it's not his fault. He's on the pitch.
No, that's ridiculous. That is all about Casemiro. That's got nothing to do with Ten Hag.
I'm sorry. If you don't think, or Erik Ten Hag doesn't think United can hold on for 10 minutes against Palace,
well, clearly doesn't.
Hold on. By swapping Casemiro for Fred and McTominay, there's something majorly wrong with that side. Are you telling me we're one player side?
No, I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is Erik Ten Hag has given Palace the respect they deserve. He doesn't think that they can just coast through games and pick and choose what games they pick players for. Like Casemiro, we're resting for Palace. It's only Palace. We've got Arsenal coming up. It doesn't work like that in the Premier League.
It's not we're resting for... It's on a yellow card, and we need him for Arsenal.
Listen, Arsenal have had, I think, 3 or 4 players on yellow cards the last 4 or 5 fixtures, and all of them...
Yeah, but that's different because there's 4 or 5.
No,
you can't take half the team.
No, but I can because 4 or 5 of them. But But they've played every single game, and the manager's trusted them, and they've not been reckless.
Let me tell you, if you played Palace last night and Thomas Partey was on a yellow, and he picked up a yellow.
Doing that,
you would be no. Pick up a yellow. I'm
not blaming. I'm still not blaming.
Fuming. You'd be fuming.
Not one. No, I wouldn't because I'd want Arsenal to try and win the game. Fuming. I wouldn't be fuming. I'd be annoyed that he's made. I'd blame Thomas Partey for doing something reckless. But that is all Casemiro.
What about if Thomas Partey just picked up a yellow card for a challenge he shouldn't have got a yellow card for?
I'm not blaming the manager because he wants to win the game. That is all Thomas Partey's fault. But it's not. It's Casemiro for making some... And it wasn't even a challenge where Zaha's going through on goal, by the way.
No, it's a crazy challenge. I didn't get that.
I
didn't understand that.
That's nothing to do with Ten Hag. Ten Hag's doing exactly what he's supposed to do.
You've got 10 minutes to go, take him off.
No.
Okay, why have you got Fred and McTominay on the bench? What's the purpose of that?
Because in case something happens.
But something did happen.
Well, no, unfortunately, that was Casemiro's fault, not the manager's.
talkSPORT Drive with Andy Goldstein. Monday to Friday afternoon from 4 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.